Om Mani Padme Hung. 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 So we can visualize the self sitting in a space of suffering and bring the compassionate light of love and healing to the self in the form of Avalokiteshvara, Kuan Yin, Chenrezig, the Bodhisattva of compassion, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and the 10 directions, all beings of light, all manifestations of Tara, all healers, ancestors, benevolent beings, the Christ, whatever image comes to us naturally is best, whatever feeling, if no image, feeling with image, feeling an image, feeling or image. Imagine yourself in a space of suffering. Imagine yourself sitting there. And you walk into the room and you see yourself like a part of yourself and you say, "Hey, I'm here." Put your hand on your back. Put your hand on the back of the you that is suffering and say, "I'm here." Om Mani Padme Hung. 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 The 6-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme Hung, the Bodhisattva of compassion, the initiation of light, the initiation of healing, the manifestation, all manifestations of light and love. Om Mani Padme Hung. 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 You can imagine yourself sitting there alone, frightened and afraid, curled up in a ball, traumatized, neglected, abused, suffering. However it was for you, if that wasn't how it was for you, imagine yourself in a moment of anxiety, a moment of fear, a moment of loneliness, whatever comes to you naturally, wherever the healing is needed. Let that feeling come to you. Let that sense come to you. Imagine yourself sitting there in a chair. You walk into the room and you put your hand on your back and say, "I'm here." Om Mani Padme Hung. Om Mani Padme Hung. Om Mani Padme Hung. Above you, in front of you, around you, the Buddhas of light, the Buddhas of compassion, the noble Arya Sangha, the noble Arya Sangha, infinite in manifestations, infinite as particles of dust in sunlight, manifesting as primordial Buddhas, manifesting as healing light, radiating down into the heart center of this one whom you found suffering, this one who you see, this part of you. Bring this self-compassion, bring this light into the heart center of yourself, of yourself as this part. You're standing outside of yourself, observing yourself, suffering, bringing healing, bringing light, peace and ease, as if you were sitting there on a park bench alone, drunk, afraid, methed out, cracked out, smacked out, whacked out, blacked out. And an angel walked up to you from behind and put one hand on your back and one hand on your heart and said, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Actually put your hand on your heart. Actually put your hand on your heart. Put both hands on your heart. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Ask yourself, what do you need? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let this light heal you. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Well, welcome to episode 45 of the 12-Step Buddhist podcast. Practices of the Bodhisattva, number 3. And here we are on practice number 3, giving up negative places. Mental afflictions gradually decrease. With no distractions, virtuous activities naturally increase. When mind becomes clear, certainty in the Dharma is born. To rely on solitude is the practice of a bodhisattva. Giving up negative places. So this makes me think of when I first got sober in 1984 in San Jose, or in Campbell, California, at the O'Connor Hospital. They said, you got to give up your old friends, your old stomping grounds, your old hangouts. Give them all up. And I thought, wow, give them all up. I didn't really have that much to give up, honestly. That wasn't that hard. There wasn't that much to give up. But the negative places, what are the negative places? They're always going to be there. Day 1 sobriety, day 10,000 sobriety. The negative places are going to be there. Negative places, negative spaces. Karmic awareness of negative traces. Give up, let go. Let go. Let go. Don't dwell there. Don't hang out there where the negativity is happening. Just step away. No need to fight. No need to defend. No need to criticize. No need to take a position. No need to plot your revenge. Giving up negative places. Mental afflictions gradually decrease. Gradually. I don't know about you, but I'm in a big hurry for it all to happen right now. Got to get it. Mental afflictions gradually decrease over time as we practice giving up negative places. This alone, of the 37 practices of a bodhisattva, this one alone, imagine the power. Imagine the potential. If you just said, my only spiritual practice from now until I take my last breath is giving up negative places. Just that is sufficient. Just that is enough. And yet we have more with no distractions. Virtuous activities naturally increase. So what does it mean for what is a virtuous activity? Well, maybe it's, I don't know, compassion for self and others, for example. Maybe it's helping to heal suffering. Maybe it's putting the afflicted and the afraid at ease. Maybe it's a little trembling puppy out in the rain that you find and you pick it up and you put a warm towel around it and you bring it home and you give it, something to eat. It's natural. Virtuous activity is healing, is giving. We can have virtuous activities for ourselves, like we did in the beginning meditation. We can have virtuous activities for others, like we do when we say are in a 12-step program and help a newcomer. Or when we see someone and we look at them with presence And we hear them and we feel them and we know them and we're present to them and for them. Just being present. Being as a body of light. Being as a joyous light being. Virtuous activities naturally increase. Naturally, how can it be natural? Well, maybe it's our natural state. Maybe it's who and what we really are. Maybe we really are love. Maybe we really are light. Maybe we really are Buddha. Maybe we really are virtuous. Maybe we're interconnected, interrelated, interdimensional, interpsychic, and intrapsychic. No distractions. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty fucking distracted 99% of the time. Distracted with what? Well, my thoughts, my impulses, my feelings, my fears, my desires, my attachments, my aversions. I want this, I don't want that. I gotta have this. I'm gonna die if I don't have it. I don't want that. I'm gonna die if I get that. It's called distraction. It's called ignorance, attachment, and aversion. Well, with no distractions, wow, virtuous activities. What are the activities? Activities of the body, speech, and mind. Activities of the body, the physical activities, the things you do, the helping hand, the warm hand, the extended hand, the hand on your heart, the hand on your friend's back, the light touch when you give the person at the checkout that acknowledgement and say, how are you? I always do this when I go buy stuff at the store. I stand in my power stance, feet separated, hip width, belly in, tailbone down, chest high, shoulders up and back and down. I breathe in, I breathe out, I look it in the eyes and I say, hello and good day. How are you today? So that's nice. We don't really have to do anything, do we? We just have to be non-distracted. Let ourselves be non-distracted. We can practice, as Patanjali talks about in the Yoga Sutras, the practice of focus. Focus your meditation on one thing. Focus on, say, the breath, where the air enters the tip of the nose. If we have the capacity, we can focus on something like sound. And ultimately, we reach the state of meditation. And meditation results in samadhi, the state of non-dual consciousness. That's not enlightenment. You're not a Buddha yet. Well, I mean, you're already Buddha, but you're not a Buddha yet. Don't make the mistake of thinking you're already a guru. You can be a guru. Like all these non-dual Western teachers, I had a moment of enlightenment and this is what happened and now I see everything. Okay, fuck off. People are liars and charlatans and thieves. You know. Trust real teachers, please. Use your gut to know the difference. With no distractions, virtuous activities naturally increase. It's not to say that a moment of awareness isn't great and isn't part of the path, but there are levels of awareness. There are levels of enlightenment. There are, levels leading up to Buddha. Are you Buddha? Are you manifesting Buddha in this moment? Are you manifesting infinite bodies like particles of dust in sunlight for the benefit of all beings? So check it. Keep it real. Be careful who you put your trust in. And don't go on the other, there's a lot of people in this like Dharma punks, meditate and destroy kind of culture. And I get it. And I'm glad people are on a path. I honestly am. I'm grateful that everybody's working on these things. But there's this sort of like anti-guruism. This is sort of like, some people, and there was somebody on Facebook the other day and they said, well, just all of these teachers are fakes and all. No, it's not true. Not all the teachers are fake. No, not all religions are fake. No, not all spiritual teachings are fake. Actually, there's a lot of perversion. There's a lot of distortion. There's a lot of delusion and illusion. There's a lot of grandiosity and ego. And there's a lot of predatory behavior. Where is a better feeding ground for predators than the vulnerable, those who are open, those who are trying to heal? Where's a better feeding ground? Come on. Where would you go if you were a vulture? But that doesn't mean there's no doves in the community. That doesn't mean there are no, rainbows shimmering. There are clouds, yeah. It's not just one thing. It's not all or nothing. Don't throw the Buddha out with the bathwater, as I've always said. When mind becomes clear, certainty in the Dharma is born. Wow. Certainty in the Dharma. Do not remain in doubt. Do not remain in doubt. Certainty in the Dharma. When you really got to see the truth of suffering, don't you? I mean, why would you care? Why would you care to be on a spiritual path? Yeah, I think you need a teacher. I think you need to find a real teacher. The Dalai Lama is still with us. If no one else, look no further. Why would you need to look further? You don't have to rely on knuckleheads. You don't have to believe that it's all fake or that it's just all on you. Yeah. It's called Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It's not just one thing. We don't just walk in the universe like in a vacuum, like we're not on an island. We have each other. Don't let your trauma and your fear keep you from finding a real teacher. At some point. Oh, you want to be so self-reliant, so Western, so industrialist. Okay. Take some wisdom from the East. Yes, we walk alone. Listen to the words of the teacher echoing in your soul. But hey, ask someone. Go to a teaching. Listen. Discern. This is really the thing. Discern. If you're traumatized and you're prone to the trauma bond, it's not so easy to discern. But we learn this by giving up negative places. Our mental afflictions gradually decrease. With no distractions, our virtuous activities, including being able to hear teachings, being able to know who to trust, and being able to trust ourselves. But it's not all or nothing. Don't make that mistake. When mind becomes clear, certainty in the Dharma is born. Okay? Certainty in the Dharma, not your Dharma ego. Certainty in the Dharma, not your, not your greed, not your delusion, not your insanity, not your trauma. We have certainty in our trauma, don't we? So, to rely on solitude is the practice of a bodhisattva. To rely on solitude is the practice of a bodhisattva. The bodhisattva is on the path of compassion. You want to be a bodhisattva? Commit to the path of compassion. I've been on this road over 34 years. I'm just starting to get a glimmer of compassion. What it means healing self and others. To rely on solitude. That doesn't mean that we just go in the cave and shut the door. Do caves have doors? I guess they do now. It doesn't mean we only exclusively practice solitude. It means we rely on solitude. We can rely on solitude, and most of us addicts can isolate pretty easily. We can go within ourselves. We can fold up within ourselves. We can hide and become invisible and become smaller because we've been traumatized. Well, not all addicts have been traumatized, and not all people that were traumatized become addicts, but it's a really big proportion. It's a real good chance. And it's a real good chance that you traumatized yourself with your drinking and using, with your attachments and afflictions, with your attachments and addictions. So rely on solitude. That means you learn how to sit still, and maybe you can't sit still, but maybe you can practice being alone yet being healthy. Being alone yet, I don't know about you, but if I'm alone too much, I get into PTSD. If I'm alone too much, I start feeling like the walls are closing in. So I practice being alone. In fact, I'm doing it right now. I woke up, I have my shadows of my dreams. And I dreamt that I was meditating. It was interesting. I was going to take a little segue here. Little tangent. I was going to take a calculus test. Was it a calculus test? Something I don't know anything about. I was going to take some kind of test. and I hadn't read the chapters. And I know it wasn't math, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to remember my dream. So I hadn't read the chapters. I found the professor, and I went up, and I was trying to prepare. Instead of studying, I was meditating. Instead of reading the chapters, I was trying to get myself settled and centered. Create, as my friend says, a set point for myself. A set point. Create a set point. That's a real good practice, to create a set point so you can reset and recalibrate, right? And in my dream, I tried to meditate rather than read the chapters. And then I found the teacher, and he was having a beer and said, "Here, just sign here and you've passed. You have an intelligence and a capacity, so I know you can do it." And I said, "Yeah, but I didn't read it." Then I remembered. I just meditated. Anyways, that was my dream. So to rely on solitude means to maybe just practice spending some time alone if you're not too used to it. Maybe don't practice as much time alone if that's what you do to run away and hide. But to rely on solitude, and really not just the time alone, but the quality of experience of looking within and watching your mind. So I'm doing the book, Compassionate Recovery. I have the website, CompassionateRecoveryProject.com. Please go there and grab a meeting format and start a meeting in your community. And then email me, DarrenBLittlejohn@gmail.com. I can help you get started with that. There are multiple meditations now. I'm also inviting you, if you are a healer, a yoga teacher, and you do meditations, just record a 10-minute meditation that says, "This is a compassionate recovery meditation on," and then fill in the blank, whatever it's on. Mindfulness, loving kindness. There's some really nice ones up there. Narissa's got a couple. Rosemary put one up. And more are coming on the way. Supposedly, people are saying they're bringing those in. But you can do a guided meditation for a meeting. And we'll be putting more formats up. There's that. And there's also the healing work that I've been doing. So I'm going to offer you healing work if you want it. You can contact me. We can do Skype sessions. This is very powerful psychic work, very intuitive. It's based on what I feel and what I experience. It's based on integrating aspects of self, like in the 12-step Buddhist. We talked about the aspects of self. If you're familiar with things like psychodrama and Jungian archetypes, it's about integration. So I can help you. And, we use different things: Reiki, shamanism, the tarot, mindfulness practice, breath work, energy work, question and answer, and dialogues. I'll give you homework. So if you're interested in that, you can find me on Skype, Darren Littlejohn, DarrenLittlejohn. You can send an email, DarrenBLittlejohn@gmail.com. And we'll set up a time. I can work with you once or on an ongoing basis. I used to do quite a bit of this years ago, and kind of came back around with a new kind of awareness of it, and finding myself spontaneously and naturally doing it with people and having really powerful results. So I'm really good at this, and I need to offer it to people. So I'm offering it. You can consider it spiritual counseling, I suppose, or energy healing, intuitive counseling, something like that. Alrighty, you guys. So check out CompassionateRecoveryProject.com. If you'd like to contribute some parts to that, if you have ideas for things that we can do as compassionate healers, as compassionate self-healers, as those on the Bodhisattva path, if you'd like to join me on the Bodhisattva path, if you'd like to join the teachers and the teaching, and the gurus and the healers, His Holiness Dalai Lama, or someone good that you trust, bring it online, bring it on board, step into the healing path. And we will continue in the next episodes of the 12-Step Buddhist podcast in doing the healing work, talking about compassionate recovery, and the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. This is all integrated. So I hope to hear from you soon, everybody. Peace out, and namaste.